Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Sean. This is the Game Room. We are Dead Man's Hand. Dead Man's Hand Redux Kickstarter just shipped recently. It came in, and I'm finally having a chance to sit down and go through the box and everything that I had ordered, which was too much, and show you what I got. And I actually think I ordered more than this, and it's coming later because there's other books and stuff in the Kickstarter. In the main box, you're going to get the rules for the Cowboys and the Desperados and the Outlaws and it's escaping me for the moment. Lawmen. And then the other gangs, which there are a bunch of, are coming out in the other two books, which are supposed to be released later this summer, I believe. The first book is The Good, and the second book is aptly titled The Bad and Ugly. So, those expansion books will have the other gangs and their rules for them coming later this year. But right now, with my first Kickstarter delivery for Dead Man's Hand Redux, I got quite a bit of stuff, and I'm going to quickly go through and show it to you, and then we're going to open up the main box itself. Now, if you've watched the channel before, you know that last year, a couple years ago, we did Dead Man's Hand Week, and there's about 14 videos. We did some paintings, we did a brief walkthrough, and guess what? This one's kicking off Dead Man's Hand Week Redux. So join us for all the videos this week. We're going to try to get some painting videos in. We're going to have a playthrough, and we'll even teach you how to play the game. And this should be a lot of fun. This game is a blast. If you've watched my other videos, you'll know how much I really enjoy this game. And even made up my own gangs. We made up the Tombstone gang, and we made up Jesse James's gang. And again, I am actively working on cards for Redux. They will all have a new back. If you're on the Facebook group, you have already been seeing them, and I will launch those this week to go along with the Dead Man's Hand. They'll be on the Game Room Facebook page in the file section. You can download all the new cards there. But without further ado, let's look at what came in the first box. Okay, there's a lot of stuff here. So, as part of the Kickstarter, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid were part of the Kickstarter, which is kind of cool. And those are the models. And move those to the side. Some of the other things that I went ahead and got, I got the covered wagon, and I got just a non-covered wagon, just to get one of each. I ordered a two-story building. They do have their new buildings, which is really cool. They did plastic buildings for this game. There's one story and there's two stories, and you can vary them up quite a bit to vary them. But I ordered a two-story building. That's what's in here. I ordered a extra boardwalks and just general scatter terrain, and that's what's in these bags. They're good hard plastic models, so I'm worried about that. I picked up 4 more gangs that I did not have. The other 7, so there's the Magnificent 7, which is just called the 7, and there's their Undead 7. Well, these guys are based off the new, not modeled after the Magnificent 7 movie. And we're going to do a video. I enjoyed that movie. I hope you did too. I thought it was a lot of fun. A little too much there, but you can, if you've seen the movie, you will recognize all of these characters here. So anxious to get those painted up. I also picked up the Desperados. You can see this gang here. The Bucks. This guys came out late last year, towards the end of summer. And they're just looking cool. And then the boys. And I don't know, these two came out, I don't know if these are loosely based off the Hatfields and McCoys. I didn't read up on them much, so if they are, somebody drop me a comment, let me know. Are these guys based off the Hatfield and McCoys? Because that would be kind of cool if they were. If you don't know the Hatfield and McCoy story, Look it up. It's another another tragic. Anyway, this is a huge box. Okay, it did not come sealed, so it's not like I opened it up and went through everything first before you see it. It did not come sealed. Part of that was I think some of the extra stuff that I ordered in here, they just put it in the box for condense it for shipping reasons. I have there's a token set. There's the promo models. If you saw the Kickstarter page, they had brought in 4 models who are actually in the rulebook. As they're kind of your guide to the rulebook. They kind of throw in tidbits and things like that, which is it's kind of fun. Let's see, and there's some other stuff that they threw in here. They offered it as 2 different versions. There was the Dead Man's Hand Redux Kickstarter version, and then there was the ladies edition, which you would get 5 ladies, so you get 15 models. You would get 10 men and 5 ladies for the ladies version, so which is kind of cool. I also have somewhere up here behind me several boxes of more of the plastic models that didn't get to. So for this particular box, there is 10 plastic mail. Oh, you can't see that. There's 3 of the street buildings. This is kind of cool. You get buildings in the starter set, which is cool. So you get 3 of the single story buildings. The boardwalks, which is why I got extras to add in, just to tie up the extras. And I also have a whole bunch of MDF terrain that I'm hoping to get completed, and I'll use the boardwalks there to kind of tie it all together. You get 1 set of the street scatter, which I kind of showed you on that other sprue. The 10 male and 5 females. You have a total of 15 models that you can build. You'll need about 7 per gang. Maybe 8 depending on how you outfit your gang, some a little less. Again, it comes down to how you outfit your gang. Rulebook, card deck, markers, and dice. Now, so you can see you're going to get your cards and your dice and your tokens. Alright, so again, big box and lots of beautiful plastic in here. Okay, so we have a Dead Man's Hand bookmark, kind of cool. Lee Van Kickstarter, he is a Kickstarter model. He's a bounty hunter, and he was just kind of cool. And as part of the Kickstarter, we got him. And takes 4 hits, 3 nerve. He's got a rep 6, menacing, and I wouldn't bet $1 on that last card. And then he's got a legendary ability, and these are once per game abilities. So very cool there. And his model is in here somewhere, I am sure. As also part of the box and part of the Kickstarter, there is earthquake. Sorry. There are postcards, artwork postcards for the just kind of some of the preliminary artwork. These are the 4 models that you're going to see throughout the book. The lawmen, Bill Larson, and so very cool there. We also have another bookmark, which has a Butch and Sundance. Alright. You're going to have your gang roster pad, which you will want as you play the campaign. Play through the different, if you play a campaign, as your models can get better and better as you play through it, so you'll need to be able to track those. Let's see, in here, let's say I have another wagon, and this was part of the Kickstarter, I believe, where you get a wagon, so I have several wagons now. Here are the buildings, and the buildings are all the same, except for you can kind of vary them up depending on how you put them together and how you and what the what am I trying to think? The facade in the front, I believe. But let's take a look. You're going to get 3 sets of the ends for the building. And you get crows and stuff, and even dogs. Doors. The doors, you know, you can set the doors up to open. But this is good hard plastic, so this is really kind of cool. There's our scattered terrain. Bottles. Very cool. And then our building facades. Put those up across the top. Paint, you know, barber across one, saloon across one. Instructions showing you how to put it together. And the 2-story building we have where we, you know, you'll get the balcony and stuff, and that was one. Not going to heavily go through all of the plastic that you get in here. We just want to show you what you're going to get. Alright, if you got the ladies edition, you're going to get 3 sprues of 4 sprues, 3 sprues. What do we got here? We have, I believe there was an extra sprue of ladies as part of the Kickstarter as well. Alright, so 2 sprues of ladies. So if you did the Kickstarter, I think you can make 20 models now, right? Lots of weapon options. Repeaters. Shotguns. Different torsos. You got 5 different sets of legs. And let's see if we can help you see this a little better. Apologies. Do them as Outlaws. Love that. You know, lots of different head options. 11 head options for 5 models. So you can make an entire gang and make none of them look the same. A lot of stuff on this sprue. And you get 2 of those. And then on the men's side, let's take a quick look at that one. Same thing. You've got your different torsos, 5 sets of legs, and again, we got 11 head options. I really like that mask. I like that one. So, very cool. Lots of options. There's really no reason for you to have 2 models that look alike. 20 bases. Cool. These are the acrylic initiative tokens. Alright, what's the purpose? When you play the game, initiative is you draw cards and you put a card next to each model. And then so that you don't have the whole battlefield cluttered with cards, you can then just swap the card out for each one of these, and then as you go through initiative, then you'll get, you can just pull the tokens off. And it's less clutter on the battlefield. If you watch the how to play video from the last Dead Man's Hand week, you'll see that the cards are just kind of all over the battlefield as you play. So this is kind of a neat addition. Not necessary, but it was just kind of cool. Let me put this stuff back in the bag before I lose something and get it out of the way. Alright. Your dice. 2d20s, 2d10s. Okay. There is Lee Van Kickstarter. Right, you saw the picture. We're just going to take them out so you can kind of see them. These models are really cool. There's a lot of personality on them. They are metal. In fact, the special models in the pre-built gangs. They're metal, and there's a lot of detail, a lot of character in them. And if you watch my painting videos from the last Dead Man's Hand week, they're not difficult to paint at all. They're a lot of fun to paint. So good looking model there. He was one of the Kickstarter models. And then we have the 4 Kickstarter models that you're actually going to see throughout the rulebook, and looks like one of them is a multi-part. So it looks like the Lawman is going to have a couple arms. Bill Larson's going to have an arm. Oh no, that's Diablo. I think that's Diablo. They're a little bent, so they're going to need a little fixing, but very cool, good detail. Are going to need some cleanup for the flash. Got 4 of those guys. Alright, let's take a look at their cards real quick. Bill Larson, Dakota Bob Brubaker, Jose Diablo, and Natalie Nate Love. So each one of these guys is a rep 3 to add them to your gang, and what they're known for. And little pictures and some fluff on the back of the card. So, very cool. Alright. What else we got in this box? These were, I believe these were part of the Kickstarter. They're metallic $1 coins. Metal. It's kind of cool. They've got 6 of them in here. And we have a card deck, and this is important to play with. I'll just pull out one side here. Depending on which gang you are, you use one of the different suits. And these cards, you use, so for initiative, you use the number and the suit. And then when you have cards in your hand that you can play, that's when you get to use these abilities. And once you get to 2 through 10 we'll use for all gangs, and then your Jack, Queen, King, and Ace will be specific to the gang that you're playing, which is kind of cool. And then the Joker gets used for all the black cards, and you only have one of him. These are the smaller cards. There is, if you want, you can get a deck. You can order it separately of normal poker-sized cards. So that's easier for you to use. But those are the cards you do have to have. Can't play a Dead Man's Hand without cards. Alright, here is the rest of those 3 buildings. The boardwalks, some scatters trains, steps, and the rest of the roof and the floors in here. So again, there's a lot of plastic in this box. And then your token sheet. You use these to mark different things. Under fire markers, out of ammo. This is your range ruler. It's 4 inches or 10 centimeters. Is a standard move, and it's very cool. And then there's the rule book. It is a full color rule book. It is very nice. I've been reading through the PDF, and I'll get this open. If you were on the Kickstarter, you get a PDF for the rulebook, which is really nice because they didn't offer the PDF of the original rulebook, which is, so this was a nice change. But you can see this is very nice, full color. You get your standard cheat sheet in centimeters in the front, and if I'm not mistaken, it will have inches imperial in the back. So 0 to 4 is ranges in inches, or if you're using metric, centimeters in the front. For the cards, I do them in inches. You can easily translate that into centimeters. If there's a high enough demand, I'll do a set of cards in centimeters, but nobody's ever asked. So, but anyway, there's like lots of full color pictures, which I really like. Really sets the tone of the game. I want to play on that board. I really do. I have a friend who said he could make me a board. I wonder if he can make me that board. I like that. I like the grooves. It just gives it a real solid Old West feel, which, you know, that's what this game is. And then here's those 4 characters that you got, and they'll appear throughout the book, just giving you some insights and their take on it. So in some rule books you have, like, you know, the designer's, you know, intention, that kind of stuff. Well, that's kind of what these guys fill in. They just kind of fill in the gaps. So it's kind of cool. I'm not going to go through the entire rule book, but you get an idea. It's big. It's a decent sized rule book. 48. What are we at? 52 pages, full color. Lots of really cool pictures in it. It takes you through how to play the game. There's some examples. I really like examples. Lots of pictures of painted models. And there's that mask. I really like that model right there. That's a plastic model, so I can go make them. Nerve test, those different rules for everything. Here's an idea. So you can kind of see, here's how their initiative cards are laid out there. And it's a game. It is what it is. It's a game. But it kind of detracts from the atmosphere of the game to have those cards laying around. So that's where those initiative tokens will come in. They're smaller and they look, you know, a little cooler sitting out there. So, you know, totally up to you. It's a game. There you go. Now, in the old game, in the old version, you could mount horses and stuff, but it was really more of a secondary thing. And they tried to make that more part of the game. So you will see more and more around, like, trains and the, you know, mounting and dismounting horses and things like that. So that's really cool. Let's see, here's your lawman gang. But anyway, I'll just quickly flip through the rest of this. Stats are in the back. How to build your factions. Go through that very quickly. Building a faction, it's like rep. So usually a faction starts at 21 points. That's what you're aiming for. So it's 21 rep, really. And you start with, okay, I'm going to build a lawman. So lawmen have, you know, your sheriff has a rep of 6, and here's the stats. And you get 0 to 1 marshals. You get 1 sheriff. That's it. That's your gang leader. You can only have up to 1 marshal, but you don't have to take a marshal. He's 5 reps. So if I took a sheriff and a marshal, I'm at 11 points. I've got 10 left. I can have 2+ deputies, so I can fill the rest of my gang with deputies. Or I can take upstanding citizens. They're only 1 point each. And I can take up to 4, but, you know, their stats aren't all that great. Nerve is a 6+, shoot is a -1, hand-to-hand is a -1. So they're not going to be great. They're just citizens who are trying to help out the lawmen. But you know, you could take a sheriff, a marshal, and 5 deputies. You have 21 rep, and you're solid with a 7-man gang. So it's how it works. It's very easy and straightforward. And then the way the game is played, you can play one-offs. Me and my buddy, we tend to play one-offs. But you can play what they call scenes, where you play through the different scenes as part of an overall story. Des is really neat. I thought this was a really cool idea that they did. They kind of turned the scenarios into like old newspapers. Yeah, that's really cool. I thought this was a really cool idea. So you would play. So if you're going to play the Whiskey for Demons, is this scenario. Opening scene, introducing, and it goes through. It tells you here's the cast. Both sides have 2 normal dudes with 2 reputation each. So you're playing with one model, and this is like more of an introduction game. And it tells you here's the instructions, the setup, and then there's some advertisements to make it look like it's an old newspaper, which is really, really cool. Those some of you are too young to even know what a newspaper is, probably. Whiskey for Demons, the second scene, and then the final scene. And if you're playing through it as a campaign, at the end, depending on how things work out, you get fame, and you can use fame to upgrade your models and add new models, things like that if somebody died. So there's lots of really cool things that you can do with this game. This game is just fun. I've said it before, I've always looked for here's an example of Marshall Everett's Lawman, of how he built his game, which he did. He did he's got a marshal, deputies, and it looks like, so he's got Marshall Everett is his sheriff, and he's got Deputy Cole, which would be his marshal guy because of the reps, you can tell them apart, and then he's got 5 deputies. So there you go, 7 men. The character names, that's totally up to you. That's totally up to you. You name your guys whatever you want. But yeah, I mean, but we would just play one-off games. We just had fun with it. It's a great game. Here's some of the Legends of the West. There's only a few here. The rest will be in the other books coming during the summer. But you get the ones that came with it. Actually, all of the ones that came in either the Kickstarter with it, or if you ordered Butch and Sundance, also they came in. Lee Van Kickstarter's in here, Butch and Sundance, and the 4 new ones that are throughout the rulebook. And those are the only legends that are in this book. And then there's one more scenario for everything, and that's the whole rulebook. It's really, really a nice rulebook. I'm very impressed with it. So there you have it, guys. That is. We've been doing this for nearly 30 minutes, so I'm going to shut up and wrap this up. We'll have, so this whole week of Dead Man's Hand, we're going to have some painting videos, how to play, and if we can get to it, we will just have a full-on game of, hey, here's just me and a buddy just playing through a scenario or just a single game with a few models, just to kind of give you a feel of how the game plays. It is a lot of fun. It's very easy to play once you get into it. The rulebook might look a little daunting, but it's really not. The rules aren't that much. The rules aren't super big, and it all makes sense once you've actually started playing it. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and leave me a comment down below. What gang are you looking forward to, or what is your favorite gang? Do you play the Lawmen, Desperados, the Magnificent Seven, the other 7? Which gang do you play? I'm actually interested, because when I did all the cards, I got a chance to look at all the stats for all the different ones. I don't have all the gangs, but I got a bunch of them. And I'm really anxious to see how the rules for each one might change as the new rulebooks come out, and have a blast with it. Plus, the models are just fun to paint. Oh my goodness, they're just fun to paint. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. Thank you for watching. As always, I'm Sean. This is The Game Room. Have a wonderful evening. God bless. Enjoy Dead Man Hand Week Redux. Bye now.